So we just got some new LEGO Star Wars 2027 set leaks, and one of them is probably the most creative, let's put it that way, Star Wars sets ever made, if you even want to call it just a Star Wars set. As many of you guys know, a few weeks ago, I made a video going over everything that we know about LEGO Star Wars in 2027 so far, yet now we have even more sets that have leaked. There's 3 in total, well, technically 4, but I'll start with the most interesting one first, the one that the thumbnail is about, that being 75481, the Iron Falcon. And to be straightforward and put it bluntly, it's literally a Marvel-themed Millennium Falcon. The minifigures are going to be Iron 3PO, War 2 D2, Spider Han, Captain Alderaan, which I don't even know who that's supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be a Captain America-themed Princess Leia, but when I read that, my first thought was actually Bail Organa for some reason. I don't know why. But then lastly, Hulk Baka, which is going to be interesting. Like, I mean, is it literally going to be a big fig of Hulk, but it's going to be brown and have Chewie's head on it? Like, what's that going to look like? I mean, the other 4 minifigures sound doable for the most part, but this one, Hulk Baka, this is the one I'm actually curious to see because it's literally probably going to be a Chewbacca big fig. That's going to look ridiculous. On top of all that though, we don't have a confirmed retail price, but I have heard rumors that it's going to be about $200 to $220, so a very expensive set. And when I first saw this, I immediately got flooded with a bunch of different thoughts, but my first thought was, why couldn't we just get a normal Star Wars set, especially when I saw it was going to be over $200? Like, we could literally be getting a new Playscale Venator or something like that. But now that the leak has been out for about 24 hours at this point, and I've given it some time to marinate with me, it actually seems pretty cool, and I think it's going to end up being a very popular set and probably sell very well. Another thing I've been told about it is that it's apparently going to strictly be under the Star Wars theme, so it's still just going to be a Star Wars set, but just themed to Marvel. So because of that, I'm very curious to see what the box art is going to look like, because again, technically, it's going to be a Star Wars set. It's going to be under the Star Wars theme, so I'm just curious to see how they're going to incorporate Marvel art into that. Oh, and by the way, the set you're seeing on screen right now, I'm 99% sure is AI generated. I got it from this random Instagram account that only has 16 followers, but even if it's AI, it still gets the point across. Who really cares? Regardless though, I'm very curious to see what the box art is going to look like. Another thing that came to my mind when I first saw this leak is that it might be from some pre-existing material, like maybe there was some random Hasbro toy made in the 80s or 90s, and that's what this is based off of. LEGO has done that with sets like the Sainspeeder from 2018. That was based off some random toy from the 80s. But I did some research and no, that's not the case. This is not a pre-existing thing. So I think what that means is that this is most likely from some type of LEGO Star Wars content coming in 2027 that we just don't know about yet. Think back to the Dark Falcon leak. That set leaked before we knew what Rebuild the Galaxy was, so when the description of that set first leaked, we just thought it was really bizarre and weird, and a lot of people thought it was fake too, but then when Rebuild the Galaxy got announced, it made sense. So I have a feeling the same exact thing is going to happen with this set. This is probably based off of some type of LEGO Star Wars Marvel content coming next year, like either a short film like they used to do back in the day, or maybe some type of 2-episode series like Rebuild the Galaxy. In my head, there's just no way that this is a standalone set where LEGO randomly decided to just collab Marvel and Star Wars and make this. It has to be from some type of upcoming show, but that's just my theory. I could be wrong. Moving on though, next up we have 3 other Star Wars leaks that have actually been out for a few days longer than this Iron Falcon leak has been out, so most of you guys have probably already heard of these, but I haven't had a chance to talk about them yet, so I'm going to talk about them in this video right now. And the first one is a Smart Brick Slave 1. I'm just going to leave that here. Who really cares? Moving on, the next one is a new UCS Millennium Falcon, and this is set to be the October UCS set. As many of us know, the 2017 Millennium Falcon is retiring at the end of this year, and since next year is the 50th anniversary of Star Wars, it makes total sense for them to release a new one. Not to mention the first one came out in 2007, the second one came out in 2017, and the third one is coming out in 2027. So yeah, one every 10 years. That works for me. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it, saying that they want something else, or that they just got the 2017 one and now there's a new one coming out. And what I have to say to that is that if you wanted something else, like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, yeah, I'd want something else too. I'd rather have a UCS Tantive remake, but next year is the 50th anniversary, so I'm just not surprised that this is happening. And if you're someone that just bought the 2017 one, I don't think you're going to miss out on anything if you don't get this new one, except for maybe a display stand. I actually have heard that this new one is going to have one of those. Regardless though, you got to see it through the lens of like how LEGO does the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters. LEGO always has an X-Wing and a TIE Fighter on shelves, no matter what. We had an X-Wing and TIE Fighter in 2018. Those sets both retired, and then the 2021 models came out. The 2021 models retired, and then we got the X-Wing and TIE Fighter mashup set in 2024. And now we have the New Republic X-Wing this year. It's just pretty obvious that there are a few ships that LEGO always wants to have on shelves in some form, and the UCS Millennium Falcon is just another one of those. This new 2027 model is probably going to retire in the 2030s, and then we'll probably get another one right after that. Now, as of right now, we don't know the price point, but this is obviously probably going to be the next $1,000 set, and all I have to say to that is that I hope it's better than the Death Star. The Death Star was the first $1,000 set ever made. It was literally LEGO's was NBA Finals and they completely blew it, but that's a different topic. This one hopefully is better. I hope they redeem themselves with this one, which they most likely will. For me personally, the one thing I want to see in this set is just a full interior, especially the hallways. I want to see brick-built hallways so bad. The 2017 one only had stickers, which is just boring. I mean, the hallways are iconic and they look awesome in Lego form, so this next one in 2027 has to have them, in my opinion. Moving on though, the last new leak we have is a buildable Captain Rex, pretty much in the exact same style as the Boba Fett from this year, and if it's as good as that Boba Fett, I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a banger set, and the price point will probably be the same, maybe 170, 180, around there. The one thing I'm curious about though, which is the one thing everyone's really curious about, is are they going to include a cloth camo on the actual build, which most likely they will. I mean, it would just look freaking stupid if they didn't, but with that being said, if they include it on the build, they have to include it on the figure, right? There's just no way they don't do that. But I mean, who knows? We're talking about modern Lego Star Wars here, so they might just reuse the same Rex from the microfighter in this set, which would really suck and be underwhelming. But at the same time, I mean, if the build has a physical camo, like, the figure probably should too. Also, not to mention the helmet on the build should look good. It shouldn't have the helmet warts on it, and it will have his rangefinder hopefully in the right spot on the lower bump instead of the upper one. And this is kind of another area that I'm curious to see how they're going to translate from the build to the figure. I mean, are they just going to have the same old ugly helmet on the figure, and then the helmet on the build is actually going to look good and accurate? Who knows? That's something I'm really curious to see. Lego claims they're really big on consistency, so because of that, you'd think they'd want to make the figure look as close to the build in this set as possible, but at the same time, they're also very lazy and cheap, so they might just reuse the one from 2024. Who knows? Anyways though, guys, those are the 4 Lego Star Wars leaks that we've gotten this week. Let me know what you guys think about them down in the comments below. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can see them on the end screen right now.